Ruslan.
What a time it is to make music, to make art, to make content. It is wild the time that we're living in, all the way to the point where a song by two openly professing Christian artists by the name of Mineo and Lecrae, the song's called Coming In Hot, is trending all over Instagram, popping off on TikTok, and made its way all the way to the Gentleman's Club. Now, I'm not going to say the word because they will demonetize me. So we're going to talk about how did this happen? What does it mean for creators? Is this a good thing for the body of Christ? Is this a bad thing for the body of Christ? What can we learn from it as those of us that maybe want to get into making music, and so much more? So I'm excited. I'm going to share you guys my opinion in terms of all of this. But more or less, if you guys don't know, who Mineo and Lecrae are, you're under a rock. Christian hip-hop artist, Mineo, Christian hip-hop artist, Reach Records. And he's originally from New York. Lecrae is from all over, including San Diego. And they made this record together a couple of years ago, which is also an important thing to note, called Coming In Hot. Now, the record features help from guys like Words Played, you know, from the, what is it called? The Circle of Trust, or whatever that thing is called. Words Played, friend of the channel, love Words Played. And also from guys like Believe. It was actually done here in San Diego, which is pretty cool. And the record was inspired by Words Played, you know, coming in with these little phrases when they'd be out at dinner, like, coming in hot, right? And these different things. And Andy caught these different phrases that Words Played would say in conversation, decided to put it in a song. And the song was initially really just a song they did to promote their co-headlining tour when Mineo and Lecrae did their tour together, both co-headlining. And that was the point of the song. It was just kind of like a one-off. And then before you know it, over time, over years, it kept taking off and taking off and taking off. And now you got celebrities dancing to it. It started out as primarily like a workout fitness type of record, right? Like, I'm coming in hot, and it's like somebody doing something athletic, somebody doing a dunk, someone catching a football, something like that. But boy, has it went beyond the demographic of Christians, beyond the demographic of sports, and became a full-on phenomenon, to the point where the song got played the Gentleman's Club, all right, in the Champagne Room. Wild, all right? This is wild. So it's not just like the Steph Currys and those folks that are rocking out to it. It made its way all the way up to, I guess, a predominant spot in Atlanta. And, you know, what are they called? The exotic dancers doing what they do to it. Whew. And then, as it's trending on Instagram, I'm going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this so you don't do it. I clicked on the song, and the song is, the majority of the videos now being made to the song are, let's just say, not safe for work, all right? Or like the newest videos, the most poppin' newest videos. And I really wish I hadn't clicked into that. It's wild that the song is taking on a life of its own. And as far as I know, this was not, yeah, for real, like, don't go to Instagram and try to find the song and look at the videos being made by the song. Like, just trust me on that. I'm serious. But the song is taking on a life of its own. And it's now transcended. And it's now touching all kinds of people that have no idea about Mineo or Lecrae, no idea that they come from the Christian space, no idea of any of this kind of stuff. And I personally, I think it's dope. I think it's fresh that Christians can make a product this dope, this good, that it transcends all barriers and all different pockets of life. And that is going way, way, way beyond just the four walls of the Christian market, the Christian hip hop, Christian consumer, right? And so some people are like offended by this, like as if Mineo and Lecrae can control who does a dance to it. I'm pretty sure this wasn't like a marketing plan of like, ooh, we're gonna go get like R-rated influencers from the Gentleman Club to get them to break this song. Like that's not what this is. Like, this clearly happened organically. This is an old song that's consistently picked up steam, and it's now transcended. And so, something to think about. Yeah, it's a whole busted challenge now, more or less. Thank you. I repeat, don't do it. Don't play yourself. You've been warned. Don't do it. Don't play yourself, all right? You're gonna click on it, and I've warned you, so just don't do it. And so the question becomes this. The question becomes, why are Christians, some Christians, offended by it? Like, why is this an issue? Like, shouldn't we be excited that some brothers from the faith side of things ended up making a record that is this big and this massive and doing, you know, hundreds of millions of streams? Shouldn't we be excited about that? One, there are some overtly Christian lines on it, and I do think that it'll open up the doors for people to maybe go and check Andy out, Lecrae out, people that aren't familiar with them off of this song and hear some of their other music. And I think that's a win. I think that's a win-win-win. Okay. Some may say Christians ought to make music that's exclusively or more overtly about Jesus and scriptures and every single bar. That may be how some people push back. I personally don't take that position. I think that people can make songs about sports and make songs about whatever they want to make songs about. And if the public latches onto it, at this point, you've now shared it with the world, and it doesn't really matter what the original intent of the song was. The song takes on a life of its own. Every time you create a piece of art, it's like literally having a kid and putting it out in the world, right? So my question to us would be, is like, why are so many of us so religious about something that explodes and goes beyond the four walls of the church? Why is there this expectation and this burden on Christian creatives to have to make music that not only exclusively appeals to people in the church, but also intentionally excludes people in the world? Why is that a thing? And I could see it being crept into some of our thinking, and you know, hey, I think this is cool. I think this is dope that we're in a time and place where music has utterly transformed a subgenre. Like, Christian hip hop was a fairly small subgenre, and now it's beyond just the Christian demographic, and with stuff like social media, IG Reels, TikTok, stuff can spread fast. So my point to creatives, specifically creatives, if you're a creative, one, just know this, know that songs that are old to you may be new to a new audience. Those of us in Christian hip hop, we've heard this song coming in hot. It's an old song, right? But to the rest of the world, it's a new song. So consider that. Those of you guys that are creatives, want to be musicians, artists, releasing stuff. Something that may be old to you may be new to everybody else. And there's multiple examples of records that have been out for years before they finally took off. The most common, this is not a Christian song, but the most common that I've heard of is Lizzo's big song that took off. And the song was originally out for like 18 months before Netflix used it in a series, and there was a dancing scene to it, and then the song exploded after it was in a Netflix show, right? So this kind of stuff happens. So artists, creatives, think about it in this regard. Think about that now we live in a genreless, borderless marketplace where just about anybody can reach anyone, regardless on what subgenre or what community you're starting in. That should inspire you. And if people are taking something and misconstruing it, taking something and maybe not, I don't know, celebrating it in its original intent, the creator can't control that. There are going to be certain people that listen to one of my videos and completely think that I empowered them and gave them license to go do something that I never articulated, that I never said, and just take it and run with it. That can happen, right? And so I make it my point to be as clear as possible, to be as direct as possible. So with that said, I think this is a good thing. Personally, I think this is a good thing. I think it's a dope time to be a Christian creative. I think this is an amazing time to make music, art, videos, whatever it is you want to make. Hopefully more people will jump in the space. But I am really curious to hear from some of you guys and what would be some of your issues or pushback with this. I am really curious to hear from you. So let me.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Joshua the King came down and bore it all. Yeah, conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes, how do I erase? Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate. On a first name basis with the worst pain.